Hello, hello, hello. Hi, y'all. Hey, you and you and you. Um, I was I was mixed on whether I was going to put a hat on for this time with you. Um, so anyway, I decided not to wear it because this will be my last time to be with you with my head, I think. I think I will be au naturel. No more, maybe. We shall see. But I have bald patches, and I just thought this would be fun. So I need to find some new summery hats because my hair is falling out in earnest, y'all. It is so wild. So here's the thing. It started falling out while I was in the hospital. Yes, that is true. I was in the hospital. So last Friday, it seems that if my cancer center had gotten my results sooner, you get your labs, and if mine had been scheduled at a different time, we may have been able to get me just doing the first couple of transfusions at their center, and maybe I wouldn't have been admitted, but it was needful that I get admitted. I think that was God's kind will that it turned out being late on a Friday that they got my results, because I ended up, just getting several things and getting lots of things put together that needed to be seen all in one place, maybe. So as you can see, my brain fog, I hate to call it that, but as my pain doctor today said, it's just easiest to just lump it into that one thing, but it means so many different things. But so y'all, it's so good to be able to communicate with you because I've missed everybody. Some people I don't get to see, physically anyway. We're not local, but I still feel like I can be more in touch. It's been a pretty wild week and scary, really, for both Craig and me, and very hard, and very, I think, good too. Very good spiritually, very hard spiritually. So I was admitted, and the thing is, this was probably better for me to get better anyway, but I was under quarantine because my blood levels were crazy low. Yeah, they said it's not the first time we've seen this, but my blood levels were really low. And what that means is your immune system is low. So, I had other things too, like the platelets and the hemoglobin. Do you know about these things? Are you a science teacher? Let's see. So those things can be dangerous too. But anyway, and so Craig was the only person who was able to come up with me to my room, and we couldn't get any flowers or fresh fruits brought to us or anything. And So it was a little bit lonely. Yeah, it was a lonely feeling. But routines helped, and just trying to find a routine. I was so amazed at the nurses, like that they could keep up with everything that they had on their hall, because even just my routine was hard to keep up with, and they were just so devoted, you know. So anyway, it's been crazy. It's been crazy. I didn't go through anything like this with my first round of cancer, and it is hard. It is hard. So trying to think what to tell you and what to skip, and who knows what, because the blender is going to need to be in action pretty soon. Sort of, just kidding. But Craig is working out, and so I don't want to keep him waiting forever. But let's see. So, and I don't know. I just feel like, is this something I will write about instead? But whoever gets a chance to do that. I did do some journaling while I was in the hospital, meaning like talking to my phone or talking to my computer. And that was pretty lovely. But I'll just give you a few things, like, well, my sister had come for the weekend. As she was arriving, I was getting admitted to the hospital, and she couldn't come to the hospital. So she took care of our house and our dogs, and she was a beautiful presence nearby. And that was just such a lovely, lovely thing. Like, Craig and I were, not able to see people, but he was able to go home and see Jill and connect and see the dogs all happy. And let's see, and yeah, they're just the sweetest babies. They're animals that God cares for, and Jill loved on them and took care of everything. And it was such a support in our first couple of days. And so Craig stayed with me then, and then we were like, let's just give it a try. Let Craig stay at home. And so he did, and I realized it was a good practice for me, because I think I'm going to have to sleep alone, all alone, when I do the transplant. And so that was kind of neat. And some of the time when I was at night in the hospital, it was, cozy, and I felt alone with God in a good way. And sometimes it felt a little more like, well, I had one time where I was anxious, and it was in the middle of the night, and the craziest thing, I'm sure it's the medications and maybe still having some effects of chemo too on my brain. But there was this vent up on the ceiling. Sorry, little gastrointestinal. I had a lot of that going on lately. So it would make this whirring sound, and it would just create so many visual images. Every time I'd close my eyes, I would get these different visual images of what might be happening with this whirring sound. And so that was fascinating, shall we say. It would create all these different movie scenes and things, and sometimes it was just fine, and sometimes it wasn't fine. It was like it was distracting and not great. I'm sorry, y'all. This is so long and random. I trust you to follow me, though, and to be with me and to make of it what you will in your love. So, yeah, and each of the mornings I woke up alone. I woke up with hope, and it was bright sunny mornings, which was so nice of God to do. But the first night, since it was going to be a sunny morning the next day, it was the first night that I was going to sleep alone, and I should have gotten this straight, but I had a big window in the hospital room. I kept calling it the hotel room. The hospital room, and it looked out over this really pretty part of Longview. I was on the 4th or 5th floor, and it overlooked 3 steeples, some of the older churches in Longview. It was so lovely, and right on the street are some older homes with really neat architectural features, and so it was so lovely. I just watched as the sun set. The sun was setting somewhere else. I might have been looking in the east, but the sun was casting a glow, and it was so pretty. And there was this kind of a row, that's what we call it, a row of magnolias in one of the houses' yards, and they're really mature, huge, and I watched, and they had started blooming, and Craig had noticed them the first day we were there and pointed them out, and because we were really needing to see beauty. And I noticed that night, that evening, twilight, that they were slowly turning from white, the flowers from white to like a peachy color, and then like a more vibrant, not really orange, but getting that glow. And it was all so lovely, as it was the first time I was alone and able to think about what God might be doing for us while He had us in the hospital. So I woke up the next morning, and the next morning, really feeling rested. It was amazing. The hospital was really amazing in terms of helping me feel rested. They were so quiet in the night, amazingly quiet, and only did as few things as they could. And it was just really lovely, a lovely just culture, really, that they tried to produce, one of restfulness. So that was really sweet. And then they get busy. But anyway, I've had some things that have been hard to manage, like hard to eat it's been hard to eat. And for anybody who has had a loss of appetite due to anything, it's so hard to make yourself eat. And one of the nurses, I think it was saying, so I had this one time and someone was telling me, oh, she had grown up with a, I don't want to like make her to identify her too much. So anyway, one of the nurses was saying that she had had a hard time eating once in her lifetime, and she, it was so hard because she didn't want to not eat. And so because it created certain problems that she did not want those problems. But people would act like, well, just eat. You know, if you would just put the food in your mouth. And for me, that is how I felt. Like, what? It's a very thin line between trying to push yourself to eat and then pushing yourself over the line where you've then ruined yourself for eating for a while and you've produced a setback. And so it's really, it's a really challenging thing. I have made progress here just in the last 2 days, like yesterday and today. I have felt like I perhaps have mastery over the food and how it's going to affect my stomach versus the other way around. So that is something, definitely a prayer need. And so that's been one of the big challenges. My pain and itching have reduced. And that has been fantastic. And I think that's probably because of the chemo, just as they predicted. So that is really neat. And let's see. My plan, so I had to, the plan would have been that I would have started chemo again last Monday. Yeah, wait. Yeah. But we had to, no. No plan. I'm always looking for a phrase. Cut the cord. No, abort the mission. Anyway, but we had to not start chemo back again. They had to figure out, well, what went wrong? Because it wasn't, you have to kind of guess somewhere on the start and then see how it goes and then make adjustments. So we are going to, so my doctor talked to my other doctor in Dallas who's going to do the transplant, and they decided I would start this coming Wednesday. So today is Friday. I don't know how much you need to know. Anyway, I will be starting soon, and that is really good. And so yeah, I have, a little bit of, I certainly have some worries about starting again. But I have some days to work those things through. And let's see, what was the other thing I wanted to say or think about, or let me pause and come back. Oh, do you hear the dogs? They're messing up my video. I thought there was a definite thing, a last thing I wanted to share. Let me think. Gosh, I'm so sleepy. Can you tell this is more sleepy than ever? I need to go sleep. But just wanted to say, shoot, I felt like there was something else. Yeah, well, we have had lots of love expressed our way. And it has been so beautiful. Thank you all so very, 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 very much. And I'm going to sign off. And if I decide there was something else, I'll try to tack it on to the end. Okay? I'm sure there's some huge obvious thing I should be sharing, like as far as updates, but I'm with you. Craig says his love and hellos, and we will be in touch. Love you all. Bye.